Business School. So for over a century, ESSEC has been developing a state-of-the-art educational program that gives the individual pride of place in its learning model, promoting the values of freedom, openness, innovation, and responsibility. Today, we have Sonia Lau, the Senior Manager in Business Development at ESSEC Business School, to tell us more about themselves. Sonia, please.
Hello. I hope some of you had, finished the earlier session with me and Larry and come back here. And I know there was a question that was pending over there. I didn't manage to answer yet. So Kenneth, are you here? If you are, well, I'll wait to answer that particular question. Let me quickly share screen here. Okay. Can you guys see? Maybe just say, well, I'm on full screen, so I cannot see much on the portal. But basically, ESSEC Business School, we are originally a French business school, but over the 100 years of our history, we are now a global business school with French roots. So that's the official positioning. ESSEC has multiple campuses, different locations, but it's important to understand that it's the same school. So it's not satellite campuses. ESSEC is one group and one school. So all locations offer the same exact program. We have the same exact admission criteria, the same ranking, the same accreditation, and we have also, we share the same resources and different functions that's available in the school. So if you are students in the French campus, let's say you're studying in Paris and considering, moving to Asia, and definitely the student service in Singapore will be able to help and support. So that's one of the very important and useful features for those, who are planning to have an international or global career when you start working. So, something that to keep in mind with all the different campuses is actually, under the same group and same brand. So ESSEC as a business school, many of you may or may not actually have heard much before. We have a campus here in One North, very close to Buena Vista. But ESSEC has been a much longer and older player in the business school or higher education arena. So the oldest program that we offer is Master in Management. It's also in French, it's called the Grand Corps. At the moment, this is a program that is ranked number 3 in the world on Financial Times. We also have a number of specialized master degree programs in different areas, like in finance or data science, or as well as strategy. All of them are very highly ranked and recognized in the world. Not just top 5 internationally, but if you're looking at the Asia campus, which put us very much in the first position in this particular field. So as a business school, we have over 62,000 alumni. That doesn't sound like a lot comparing to a university, but it's important to know that we are, ESSEC is a graduate business school. So that means we are a standalone institution that teaches only in business. And if you look at that, it's actually quite a decent number if you look at business school graduates in the history of ESSEC. About 400 of them are from Singapore campus and working, many of them are working in Singapore. One of the highlights that we are proud, ESSEC has a very high and very strong ROI in terms of return on investment. As a European school, our tuition is relatively quite affordable. comparing to other universities in different regions. Generally, the tuition fee, if you divide them by the timing of the program, the length of the program, the cost of living, as well as the tuition fee, then if you look at the students' average salary when they graduate from the program, which for Master in Management is roughly about 81,000 Sing dollars, and for Master in Finance is about 82,000 Sing dollars. These are for fresh graduate salary, and it's important to understand that these programs are designed for younger fresh graduate students from no work experience to usually up to about 3 years of work experience. So in the curriculum, we do a lot to help students to find to get them ready for their career afterwards. So here is a very quick overview of the more successful ESSEC alumni. If you don't know the brand, we like to leverage on our alumni, our network. So of course, there are many European companies, because ESSEC is originally a French institution. But not only that, for general, ESSEC have alumni from across many different industry and globally. So from the L'Oreal CEO, which is newly appointed, to the managing director of DBS Bank, to the managing director of McKinsey in Singapore. These are all ESSEC graduates. So surprise, surprise, you may have not known before, right? So to give you an idea about ESSEC, how do we stand or how does it different from other local universities or other universities in general? ESSEC truly believe in a method called learning by doing. If you look at the curriculum, it is very intensive usually. If you look at the postgraduate degrees, all the master degrees usually are 1 to 2 year long. And during that time, you will have your academic studies. So during that portion, you will have many things that is designed to train you, to get you ready not only professionally, but also personally, to give you the exposure and to give you, the experience that you need in day one of your job. So obviously, business case is very common in graduate school or in any business school, but there's also many games or interactive seminars, team project, hackathons. Imagination Week it's conference that we invite, non-business, usually speakers to come in and inspire our students in different ways. So, for example, every year you'll see comedians coming to the campus to teach public speaking. So, how cool is that? I think there's no other better way to learn public speaking other than learning from a comedian. That's what they do, and they do it very well. And then there are multiple, corporate competition that is also designed in the program. So, for example, the marketing students will go through something called the Digital Week competition. We have last year Johnson & Johnson and Richmond, which is a luxury house participating. And then there are also other things like bootcamp or apprenticeship is a French specific concept, basically allowing students to find a job and to study at the same time. So think of it as an internship, but the cooler thing about this is the company will actually pay for your tuition fee. So if you are able to secure an apprenticeship, basically your tuition fee will be refunded back to you by the school, and instead it will be paid for by the company. So it's one way to finance your study, but in exchange, you will have to commit yourself to 1 to 2 years of a mix of full-time or part-time working with that particular company. So ESSEC is one of the best brand name when it comes to higher education in business in France. So that's why a lot of companies do use this channel to secure ESSEC students while they are still in school, and then perhaps to convert them into full-time position after graduation. And then obviously there are also, entrepreneurship that is available. ESSEC do have, you'll see later, our own incubator that's available. So if you're considering starting a business, there is an incubator that is there to help support students to nurture ideas and to provide seed funding, for example. So this is an example of one of the programs that we have to just give you an idea of what can expect when you are opting for a master's degree in business. So this is, however, very different. It's very unusual, not just within the school, but also comparing to other universities. Any other program is very different. Master in Management in ESSEC is a complete different animal. It takes a little time to explain this. That's why I highlighted this specifically. So if you remember from our earlier slide, this is currently ranked number 3 in the world. And the secret of this is it's extremely flexible, and everyone will be able to tailor or to customize your journey according to your own wish. And sometimes it's difficult to understand it. It's because, no other schools will be able to offer this level of flexibilities as a degree. So the best way to imagine this is basically this is an international buffet. If you're hungry and if you're not sure exactly what you want to get, then this is the best because you will have pretty much everything that the school has available in terms of resources. So there are double degrees. ESSEC has over 100 different higher education partners. You can have multiple, you can choose from exchange program or double degrees. So for example, we have a double degree with Peking University. We have a dual degree with UC Berkeley. We have a, exchange partnership with Cornell universities or universities from around the world that are top tier programs. So students can opt for that if you're interested to have more experience outside of Singapore and Paris. And then in average, this will take about 2 years. It's slightly longer than other specialized programs because what is coming up next. Basically, as a student, you will be able to choose from over 200 different electives. ESSEC pretty much have something that is available in everything that you can imagine. There is that is required. So this program is ideal for someone who did not study business before, but or you didn't have a very specialized track. You're not sure yet what you want to do. You still want to explore different area. Then you will have, basically about 40 different specialization as an option. Let's say if you're interested in marketing and perhaps brand management, you may want to explore in that direction. After your core courses, you can start opting for, all the marketing related courses and then get a specialization. And then meanwhile, you can also, choose something what we specifically call a chair. That is a concept that ESSEC has. That basically are corporate sponsor company research projects. So for example, in many different industry, we have partners that is offering that experience to train students and expose them in that particular industry. So the more popular one, for example, is the LVMH chair in luxury management. So if you're interested in marketing by doing the luxury, LVMH chair, you will have a 6 months taken as an elective, but you'll have a 6 months training with LVMH and in different research project that they may give, and then you work directly with not only the faculty but also the employee of that company or the management of that company. There is another one with a center for business analytics, for example, or there is one if you're interested in sports management, or if you're a football fan, then ESSEC has a chair in sports management with PSG. So that's pretty cool. So many of these are available. It's all up to the students to choose and pick what they want to get out of this experience. So that's why if you want to do more, then you can spend perhaps a longer time in the program. And we also require at least 1 year of internship in this program. So it's important to understand that as ESSEC students, either in France or in Singapore, if you are not from this country, or let's say if you are international students, your student visa that we provide will actually allow you to work legally in the country. So your student visa will cover your status to give you an internship or to allow you to get an internship with a company. So that is an advantage that a lot of students do take advantage of. Let's say if you're from Singapore that you want to explore working in Europe, then under the student visa that we provide as a school, you will be able to get internship in France or in the region. So sometimes students will look for options in London, in Luxembourg also, if they are considering having a more international exposure to really beef up their CV before graduation. Okay, a little bit about ESSEC Career Services. We just had a workshop earlier, so if you have attended that, you know very well, but I'm not going into too much details. Basically, as a graduate business school, we do have a very extensive training program and department in both France and Singapore to train students or to prepare them during their study and to try to maximize, the career outcome afterwards. And earlier, as I mentioned, we do have our own ventures. So ESSEC has, as a school, we are one of the very few that actually has an incubator that is within the university or within the school. This is a career profile. I'm sure you see all these, information. You think that, what does that mean? How does it apply to you? So as a statistic, we place 100% of our students for internship because it's actually part of the graduate requirement. You cannot graduate without at least, the internship that is required. So for Master in Management, it's 1 year, but all the other specialized program usually is about 6 months. So the specialized master programs is much shorter. So if you're going for Master in Finance or Data Science or Marketing, then usually the curriculum is only about 8 to 10 months on campus. You will be going through a very intensive coursework during that short period of time, then following by a 6 months internship. So within usually 13 to 14 months, you will be able to complete your entire study. But the campus experience, like the time that you spend physically on campus, or now sometimes it can be done on Zoom, is actually only within 8 to 10 months for the specialized program. So if Kenneth, you are here, and if you're asking, about the specialized programs earlier, then this is the structure of the program. For Master in Management is extremely wide in terms of the job function, because the nature, the flexibilities that we provide, students sometimes when they come into the program thinking that they want marketing, then they realize halfway through the program they want consulting instead. And it allows them to make changes during the duration of the program. If you're 100% set, let's say if you only want finance, let's say you're very clear to about you want a career in investment banking, then we would definitely suggest something shorter, like Master in Finance. Or if you know that you want to have a digital marketing career, like let's say you're really just very passionate about social media, you will not consider anything else, then perhaps the specialized master is more useful, or it's a lot more straightforward and direct. So the companies that we work with and hired from ESSEC are here. It's an example. As a quick example of one of the students, I want to highlight a profile. And obviously, in this case, she is from the experience you can see she's a lot more interested. She's interested in luxury brand management. So that's why she chose ESSEC, and for her entire master journey, she chose the companies or the brand that is more relevant in the luxury brand industry. So if someone starts in Singapore, usually they will spend about 6 to 9 months on campus in Singapore. We have something called junior consultant experience. We train students working with NGO, MNC, and SME, usually during this part of the program to give them some consultant experience. And then later you will have a specialized track. Then in her case, Supita, she's actually from Thailand, was able to found and land 3 different internships when she was still in Singapore. She has 2 offers locally in Singapore, but she chose the one in France. So even before she arrived in France, she got an offer at L'Oréal Paris. So she actually moved directly to France, to Paris, to start her internship. Once she finished her 6 months internship, then she went back to campus to continue the program. And remember the chair that I mentioned? So she joined the LVMH chair at that time. And then she also secured an internship at Christian Dior in Paris. And then completed her program by 2019. And recently, she just moved back to Singapore and start working for Louis Vuitton here locally in Singapore. So this is one of the students that we have, and she was a student ambassador. If you want to know more, definitely you can contact one of the students. They are all available online to hear from a graduate student's perspective. This is completely individual, and it's not managed by any of the staff. So you get an objective view, seeing what their backgrounds, and then how are they going through the ESSEC program. So a little bit of short, quick view on the admissions. I know maybe not every one of you is ready for applying for grad school yet. But in case you are thinking about it in the next, year or a few years, this is a quick overview. It's very similar to any other university. So generally, most schools are quite similar. You need to prepare for a GMAT or GRE. Touchmark is basically the equivalent for French students, or CATs for Indian students. If you study in Singapore, obviously you don't have to, we will offer exemption for English tests. So TOEFL, IELTS is not required anymore. And other than that, it's just an online application or recommendation. This is my quick, it's my contact detail. So my email address and my school WhatsApp account. If you are interested to connect with me directly, you're welcome to drop me a quick WhatsApp message. Or you can find me on LinkedIn also. Okay. Is there questions, or I think there's not many people here actually.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, wait, can you see my camera? Because I don't know if I can. Okay,
I can see you.
You're willing to take questions right now, right? We have a few minutes before we go off for our break. Is there questions from anyone in the chat who wants to know a bit more about ESSEC Business School? You can find Sonia's email in the general chat if you are more interested in contacting her directly. I'll just wait for 1 minute if there's any questions.
Yeah, yeah. And we also have the student, actually the student ambassador to join the 2:30 session. So, you know, it's okay if there's no question here. If anyone comes to that later on, they can speak directly to the students.
All right.
That's all probably also
Okay,
better.
I'll stay for another 30 seconds if there's any great questions. Yeah, you can also find ESSEC during the career action space from 2:30 to 5 p.m. They'll be having a 45-minute session where you can learn more about them and any opportunities that they want to provide.
All right,
Thank you so
very
much. It was so great to hear from you.